What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another month of the Lazarus Pit here on the Heroes for Hire podcast. We are back again talking one movie that was recommended by you guys that you wanted to kind of get a review on. Maybe it was an old movie to go back to see if it still holds up. That's the point of the Lazarus Pit. And I'm joined as always by my best pal, Mr. Shaun. Me and Shaun, what's going on?
I'm good. I was just going to hope you would freewheel and keep explaining what the concept of the show is and never introduce me.
Look, I don't want to boast you, Shaun, but we have had a few extra Patreons in the last
true. That's pretty true, folks. we have actual suggestions. It's mad.
Now look, the oldies, they know what the fuck's going on here, right?
Oh,
they know that they send us bad movies and we have to review them. And everything gets thrown into the hat. And then what gets pulled out of the hat is the movie we review. So I think this got recommended maybe last year or the year before. If you don't know, you probably know by the headline by now. We are reviewing 2005's Constantine, Shaun, starring Keanu Reeves.
A great year for superhero movies, I will say. You had Fantastic Four as well.
Yeah, so, like, I always think of the mid-2000s. At the time, I remember thinking, wow, there's so many superhero movies. This is amazing. We're in the golden age, right? And
you're a pretty heavy 10-year-old.
I was very, very heavy. but then when you get to 2008 and The Dark Knight and Iron Man and all come out, and then kind of looking back on this time, mid 2000s, there's a lot of stuff. But I always think of it as adolescence. It was like the teenage years of the superhero.
They were
movies.
finding themselves, you know.
We were finding our personality, what worked, what didn't work. So a lot of shit got thrown at the wall. We've all had terrible haircuts when we're 14 because we think we're cool. But Shaun carried this over till now.
Yeah, I was going to say I have a similar hair to what I did when I was 13. What the fuck,
you're the one guy that perfected it.
I pulled it off, you know. It's easy.
The only
just nail it right out of the gate.
We've all seen photos of family birthdays when you're maybe 14. You're like, oh no, what did I do? So these movies I think of as the equivalent of them, in that there's a lot of different vibes going on. As you said, Fantastic Four. This came out the same year as Batman Begins.
Insane. Ang Lee's Hulk was
Ang
a year
Lee's Hulk
before
is
this?
03.
Right.
And then Rise of the Silver Surfer, I think, is 07. So Fantastic Four is 05. So and then
it's quite the window.
X-Men The Last Stand is 06, I think. 06 or 07. So massive, just they were trying everything. Everything was being put on the screen, and Warner Brothers decided that they wanted to do a Constantine movie of a character, I would say probably the equivalent of Marvel doing Blade in 1998 or whatever.
Yeah, honestly, it's quite as comic books go, it's a niche enough character. It's never going to have the mainstream appeal of a Superman or a Batman or a Spider-Man or anything like that.
It's weird. It's a weird comic from the start to finish. If you haven't seen the CW version of Constantine, the guy who plays Constantine in that is excellent.
I love that portrayal of Constantine. Yeah, this one feels more inspired by Constantine.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't like Keanu Reeves as Constantine.
I don't like him as... I think if this is just a thing about Keanu Reeves solving weird occult issues, great movie. Not a good Constantine movie. Because
Constantine is a British man who's incredibly charismatic and kind of has a vibe that he wants to kill himself at all times. And
Taron Egerton.
Keanu, I've never actually said the sentence, I would prefer Keanu not to be in this movie, but this is the one time where I'm like, Keanu, you are excellent in 99% of things, but I just think you're miscast in this, because I don't know in 2005 who you do get to play Constantine.
Who's the biggest British actor in 2005?
Jude Law?
I was going to say Jude Law, surely. The British actor.
Jude Law would kill it as Constantine, by the way.
Oh, he absolutely would. Even a Gary Oldman at the time mightn't have been an older Constantine. 2005 James McAvoy.
Oh, I think he could pull it
Tom Hardy.
What's he doing in 05 though?
Tom Hardy in 05, he would have been 20, 25 years old.
Is he doing like Warrior? When's Warrior come out?
Now we're just googling shit now. This is
just Google. This is the Patreon.
as opposed to usually when we're so on the ball.
Usually we have all the facts.
2005, he was in Marie Antoinette. He was also on TV in Colditz, and he had been in Band of Brothers at that point.
Right. See, okay, here's the issue though. You recast it with somebody else, the movie doesn't get made.
Yeah, Keanu, you need Keanu is coming off 05 Keanu.
Keanu is coming off Matrix. The Matrix trilogy has ended. And this movie actually very similar to Matrix in kind of theme and style of like one man fighting against where does he belong? There's two different worlds.
Big Jesus metaphors throughout the whole thing.
Heavy. Well, I mean, not just heavy, the literal Jesus metaphor in this.
Can I just make a blanket statement at the start of this?
Go for it.
When I was 10 and I saw this, I thought it was the coolest shit in the world.
Yeah.
And rewatching it now, I still think it's pretty cool, I'll be honest.
You know what? Every time I rewatch this movie, I think it's better than the last time that I watched it. And I mean, every time I watch it, I'm like, that fucking movie. Like, it tries a lot of stuff. Yeah. And some of it doesn't work. But watching this movie, I'm going to say today, watching it I watched it like 2 hours ago. Revelation in terms of the camera work and the lighting and the vibe and the cinematography.
Even the CGI for the time holds up.
The CGI, but like just how it's shot, the unique things it tries, the unique shots that it pulls off. Like, I was watching it like, this movie is... I'm trying to put it into words in that, like, they're attempting fucking cool shit, and at least 80% of it is coming off, and I'm like, cool.
Do you know what it feels like? It feels very, you know, the way it feels like it was storyboarded by a comic artist. Very like Sin City. Like, the compositions are all very comic book-esque. Like that first shot where it pans down, it's just on the dog in the junkyard. It's like, you would never open a movie like that today.
Or the first time we see Constantine when he gets out of a taxi and then the camera shot is down and the parallel buildings that are on each side and the taxi's in the middle. It's beautiful.
It's outstanding. It's
all out in the real world, and maybe our brains are boiled because of all of just the green screens that we just see now and the terrible lighting that's going on in most productions these days.
Yeah, but this movie has texture to it.
Yeah, I was trying to put it into words. I was watching it, I was like, I don't know if I don't like him as Constantine. I don't know, and it's very heavy in some of the stuff it tries, and I'm like, some of the CGI bit dated, but I was like, this movie's beautiful. This movie is so much better than it has any right to be, and if it was made today, it would be a million times worse. Because this movie has character, is what I would say, and that seems like a really dickhead thing to say, but
no, but it absolutely does, because this was made by a team of people that it feels like they wanted to make the movie, and the easiest way to, you know, get John Constantine in a room where he's fucking slammed through a load of windows and there's tiles and there's water everywhere is to just put him in that room, The exorcism scene at the start is one of I genuinely love that scene so much.
Because he gets out of the taxi, you have the cool shot, and even like the Angel City on the door, you're like, this is all just really great stuff. Like, and then he's walking through the building, and it's like, oh shit, he's here. He's gonna fucking solve this.
Yeah, and I love how banal it is to it. Like, he's trying different religious items to see which one affects it. Like, it's so routine to him to do this kind of exorcism that he's not afraid, he's not worried at all. And
I actually, like, I also don't want to be too harsh on Keanu in the review, because what he does really good Keanu stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Keanu does Keanu, and he's really good at it. When I think of Constantine, the guy from the CW is what I'm thinking of. Imagine putting that character in this environment. I think it's a much different movie, and I also think it's probably much more liked by a lot of people.
I think so, and I think he's a lot more charismatic against Rachel Weisz's character.
Yes.
If he's the charming Cockney, occult magic solver.
Whereas Keanu is going to bring the John Wick vibe of, I kind of want to... Like he's like, I don't want to be here, I kind of want to die. I don't like any of this. Whereas Constantine is like the most sarcastic motherfucker in the world, doesn't give a shit about anything or anybody, and he's like, if that wants to come from me, fucking take me. That's all I fucking want.
Yeah, and he also, like, he's perfectly comfortable with that, so he's just going to do what he can while he's here. He's a bit of a prick. Whereas
he's a bit of a prick, but in like a charismatic way.
It's weird in the first Constantine movie that we come in on Constantine about to die from lung cancer, and just like on the way out, like he's kind of got nothing to live for, and he wants to die in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I actually, the one massive positive of the movie, I was going to say a massive positive of the movie is that we do come in at the end. We come in, because a lot of lesser movies, and I think if the movie gets made now, you come in at the start, you have the big origin, we find out why he doesn't like God, and he hates all that stuff. In this, we come in at the end. We come in, he's dying. Like, he's been through all this shit, and he fucking hates God, and he hates the devil, he hates everybody, and he's just like, I've been cheated by every side, and I'm wasting my life.
His whole thing is like, oh no, there's this balance that there's supposed to be, but both sides are fucking breaking it. Like,
yeah, and so like that's where coming in on that time, I'm like, perfect, but a more charismatic lead. Keanu is charismatic, but like in a different way. I don't know how to kind of put my finger on it.
Keanu now would play this very differently than he did then. I think like Keanu, there's a lot of carryover from Neo in this, where he's this stoic, immensely capable dude who's never really on the back foot.
Because there is funny lines, like even say when he's going to go sit in the chair, and then he's and he's just like, this is a $200 shirt, when he like puts his hands inside him, and like that's a funny line, but he delivers it with like. He delivers it in a non-funny way. So I'm like, funny line, but is that better if it's like more deadpan, or is it better if it's like less deadpan from somebody else?
I would like him to be more like, and this is two idiots looking at this 20 years on, but I would love him to be...
one of the best actors in the world, so like
100% not up for debate.
It's just people are like, but you're not going to cast Robert Downey Jr. as Captain
Doom.
America. Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom.
Fuck. There's something happening in the news recently? But like that line about the $200 shirt, I would love him to be more like indignant about that. Yeah. And like mock furious about it.
Well, thank God he didn't try the British accent, is all I would say.
Do you think there's a couple of takes early on where they tried it?
I don't know if there's a take, but there is definitely when they were doing the table read. Try it, Keanu. Just try it once and see what happens.
I love in this first of all the occult stuff, super cool, super interesting. Feels like they had someone researching all of that on set. I love B-Man and the gadgets, like the dragon's breath, and he's like, they have like this gearing up. It's a fantastic scene.
It literally creates a whole universe in like one scene that you're like, oh, these two have been through everything. Because he's like, Dragon Breath, I thought they stopped making that. He's like, I know my people. So like they've had this conversation hundreds of times. He's decked them out hundreds of times. It's just a really great scene to be like, he's been through a lot. He has to just get all of this equipment every fucking week or every second week to like restock, because he does so much demon hunting.
Yeah, and also even that line of like, oh, I thought they stopped making it. It does sell the threat a bit more. It's like, oh, he needs this thing that's like out of production just to like survive what he knows he's coming up against. I also love how he's the whole time is like, oh no, a demon nearly got in. Like it tried to get into a human. It happened, and everyone is like, that's impossible. You've lost it, Constantine.
There's so much to like, even from the very start of the movie. Shia LaBeouf is in this.
Whatever age he is, he's like 15 or 16.
I don't know what age he looks 15, but he's meant to be maybe 18, 20. He's a taxi driver, so what age do you have to be to...
You can drive a car at 16 in America.
I suppose, technically. It's just... It's a unique way because he's in it for the first 20 minutes and then he vanishes.
He popped back up and I was like, I forgot he was in this movie.
And then you forget completely he's in it. And then he pops up for the last 30 minutes. And then because you have to have the big death scene, but it has to be the big sacrifice. But we haven't been with him for the previous hour and a half. So they have to really speed run it.
If we knew anything about him, that death might have touched me a little bit. But I did like, there's that bit where he's like melting down gold artifacts to make bullets and stuff. And G-Mon, and he rattles off, because he's just been reading occult books, and he rattles off, like, oh, you can bless, like, rain and sprinklers and holy water and all that kind of stuff. And G-Mon Hansu gives him this look of, like, oh, no, this kid is, like, he's learning. He could be the new Constantine.
And at the same time, he's like, if you survive...
Yeah.
He's like, you definitely will not survive, just to let you know.
Brutal death for a kid as well.
Gets smashed up and down off the tiles from the roof to the floor. Yeah. Okay, there's actually, by the way, the cast in this, really great cast. Really strong. So, like, Tilda Swinton's in this, Shia LaBeouf is in this, Rachel Weisz, Keanu Reeves, G-Mon Hansu, Gavin Rossdale is in this, Peter Stormare is the devil, technically.
Great. Or Lucifer, I suppose. But yeah, like, great portrayal of fucking devil. Because you could do cloven hooves and horns and all that, but just a slimy prick in a white suit.
I was going to ask you, the movie to me kind of loses me about the last maybe 30 minutes, last 20 minutes.
That last act isn't great.
The first two acts, I'm like, we're fucking locked in. Let's go. I'm all about this. I love Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel as well, so I'm like, let's get into some weird fucking shit demon hunting. I love a good demon hunt. And then at the end when fucking Gabriel the devil shows up and I'm like, how did you not know that Tilda Swinton was going to try and bring back your son? I mean, that kind of seems like something you should have kept up with, really. Yeah.
That whole... there's a disconnect there of like, what's going on in hell? Where's the organisation happening?
Who's your CEO?
I do like casting Tilda Swinton as the Angel Gabriel. I think that's a great cast. The minute I see her, though,
I'm like, she's pure evil, because you don't cast Tilda Swinton for that role unless there's a big reveal at the end.
I think Tilda Swinton exclusively plays characters with like double motives. Like,
she only plays that character. She doesn't play anything else.
It is cool at the end where like she's like, oh, kill me John Wick, you can kill me, you have the choice to kill me, and he's like, nah, you're gonna know what pain feels like.
I mean, I think that's so the reason why she goes evil, so the plot of this movie is that Tilda Swinton plays the Angel Gabriel, who's like, John, you're never going to get accepted to heaven because you committed suicide, and that's a complete sin. It's a mortal sin, and you're always going to go to hell, but you've got to take a few demons down with you before you go. And then she kind of starts basically implying that it's an unfair system, that people just get forgiven before humans get forgiven, so they can murder and rape and just like do anything they want, and then they can get forgiven and get sent to heaven before they die. And she's like, that's unfair, and that's the reason she turns evil, because she then tries to bring back the child of the devil.
Yes, because and then that devil will the child of the devil gives a new, so there's extra hidden passages in the book of Revelations in the Bible that says the devil's son will then take over the earth. And Tilda Swinton thinks that would be better because
So this is what I mean, right? So for the first maybe hour and 25 minutes, we're flying at a clip, right? Easy to understand. The demons are getting fucked up. There's demons coming through that shouldn't be. What's causing all this? And the devil child is going to come back. We need to stop that. I think it gets a bit stuck in the mud last 25 to 30 minutes, where it's like trying to do all this exposition and like trying to explain it all, but like there's a lot to go through. And I understand the concept of her being like, oh, it's completely unfair. People should just be like, if they commit those crimes, they should go to hell. All that shit. But it's not just said like that. There's like 25 minutes of like sludge to get through it.
Yeah, it's not a clear motive. The motive is there. We know what's wanted, but not why exactly.
We just, because she's kind of a dick.
Yeah. And then there's a cool bit where the devil's about to fucking kill her, and I think she says like father or something like that, and nothing no, she tries to smite the devil and can't touch him because she turned her back on the big fella.
So yeah, the idea is that she's an angel, the devil appears in front of her, and then she's like, finally, I'm going to get to punch the head off the devil. And she goes to, but she's already committed a load of sins before that. And so that's what she tried to bring back the demon child of the devil, and she killed a whole bunch of people. So
that effect will never not be unsettling to me, by the way.
Super, it like that, Prometheus, any of that shit where there's something in a fucking body. It's fucking weird.
It's weird, and it's like it's tightening the skin as it pushes out. It's weird. Don't like it.
The bit with the fly with B-Man when the fly comes out of his eye. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, that B-Man death is horrific.
But at the same time, like, all that stuff is really cool. It's like body horror shit. And but like, even the fly coming out of the eye, that's what I'm trying to explain, is that like, it's a big leap.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. They make loads of fucking direct choices, and they go 100% at them. They run directly towards them. Whether you like them or not, they're going that direction.
There's no real, to me anyway, there's no real element in this movie that stands out as being like, that's a weird addition. Everything kind of makes sense altogether. What
I don't like is there's lots of deleted scenes for this movie, in which there's a shit ton of deleted scenes with lots of much darker things. Ooh. Where like you watch like I think there's like border security officers who like get the demons inside them, and then they take out their own guns and shoot themselves, like put the guns in their mouth and shoot themselves. There's like loads of scenes like that were cut, because I think it was trying to cut the PG-12 rating, and it was trying to get there, so it had to cut a lot of scenes.
I think that you can only have a certain amount of like blood spatters and things like that. Like, there is a limit to what you can show. And so it's one of those where I was kind of like, I would prefer if they just went all in, but then you also get less people, because they're like, we have to have a PG-12 because nobody's going to come see this fucking Constantine movie unless we bring 12-year-olds in, because it's 2005 and this is a weird concept. Do you think, because there is a Constantine 2 in the works, allegedly.
Yes.
Do you think he's going to be vaping in this one?
I hope not.
Because when's the last time you saw a movie where the main character is a smoker and it's portrayed as cool?
Yeah, but I think Constantine, no offence to everyone who's listening to this, but I think if Constantine vapes in the movie, he turns into the biggest little bitch boy of all time.
Oh, 100%.
The whole point is that he smokes non-stop because he wants to die. So
he doesn't care about himself.
Yeah, like, and he's always smoking all the time. That's the one character trait that he has.
Yeah, because it's a commentary of like, oh, but suicide's a mortal sin, but you can just do all of this shit while you're alive to speed up the process.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
And he has to have the trench coat and the loose tie.
Yeah,
and
wish it was a brown trench coat, man.
Ridiculous. Why is it? I don't know why it wasn't brown, and the red tie would be ideal, but we're not going to go into that. Why is Keanu not blonde? Why is he not a completely different person?
I've been listening to The Sandman. They have a whole audio drama series on Audible, who are not a sponsor. But Constantine is played by Taron Egerton, and man, he fucking nails the voice.
Well, Taron would have been about 7 when this movie came out, so I don't know what you like.
Just saying. Could be a big fan.
What was Taron Egerton? Maybe 35? So if we're working back, he would have been like 19 when this movie came out.
Taron Egerton, born 1989. He's 34 years old. You're really good at years.
Thanks. Yeah, so he would have been like too young, really.
He would have been 16 when this came out. But I'm talking for if you do it now, 35-year-old Constantine.
Oh, he'd be perfect. He'd be perfect
ideal
at this now, yeah. Like, but they're doing a number 2. They're not doing a Constantine 1 again.
This is the thing. Keanu's still going to be... And it's just going to be John Wick with ghosts.
Yeah. And there is a place for John Wick is one of the... Like, those 4 movies are 4 of the greatest action movies ever made. Especially the last one is, like, ridiculous. Yeah. Way too good than it needs to be. But, I mean, I prefer my Constantine hanging on for dear life. It just...
Yeah, like I want him just doing his best. Like, he's
flying by the seat of his pants and he's never in charge. And he's just like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. There's a big demon.
Which I think is why I like the CW version so much, is that he just feels like an exterminator who's called in and figures out a problem. Like,
yeah, and you have like a monster
He's a working class dude. Yeah.
He's just like, he turns up, there's somebody screaming, they're like, oh, my son, his head's doing 360 and he's on the fucking ceiling. And he takes like a slow drag of a cigarette, like, well, that's fucked up, man. Right, let's go and sort this out.
Yeah. And he's like just off a bender or something. Like he's a mess.
He's still half drunk and he's just like, fucking 360 head, is it? Oh, fucking third one this week. Right, come on, here we go. Let's crack on.
Yeah, like it's this is a fine 2005 guy hunts ghosts movie. It's wild that they went devil straight out of the gate, I will say.
Straight up devil. Well, not even devil, devil's son. And it does start off with a Nazi flag. And that's where the blade comes from.
What it really starts off with, though, is white 24-pixel Arial font on a black background, just explaining the spear. Like, there's no way to stylize that. It's just the most boring title card I've ever seen. I think, right, the script maybe not the script.
They make lots of choices, as we've said, and I think with a better lead actor and some editing slightly, this could be like remembered as like Blade, but for Warner Brothers.
Yeah, and I think some of that is, and we said it earlier, that like the third act, it does fall down a bit. And now that I know there's a shitload of deleted scenes, it feels like there was more time to let everything breathe. But at the minute, there's a lot to cram in. And then, we need to do the action set piece and we need to finish under 2 hours.
I think it's 147 altogether.
Yeah.
So, like, you have an hour 47, whereas it probably was maybe 2:15.
Yeah. Like which in 2005 is a lot to ask for.
Which is why they cut it. Because they're like, this is a PG-12. We need this in and out.
Constantine movie.
It's a Constantine movie. We're not giving you over 2 hours.
No, and it's still, like, the title card still says Vertigo Comics on it as well. Which
at the time, yeah.
Man, he's just full DC now, though, right? Like, he's...
yeah, I mean, DC kind of just took over every company, same with Marvel on the opposite side, so...
That's true.
Yeah, technically, yes.
Great stuff. I do like all the credits break and dissolve into each other. That's quite fun.
Who owns the Turtles now?
Turtles, is that Dark Horse or Image?
But Dark Horse is DC as well, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's DC owns them then, technically.
Because I suppose they made Batman. Cowabummer, dude.
Cowabummer.
This is my parents. Where my parents died. That's Cowabummer, my dude.
IDW, Mirage. Yeah, Turtles have bounced around. They'd be a good Hero Zero sometime. Just the Turtles.
They're good, but the Turtle makers are even better. The guys who create the Turtles are hilarious.
Insane. They were best friends and then fell out as friends and then recently came back as friends.
No way, they got back.
Yeah. They did a book called The Last Ronin, which is about, like, I'm not going to say who, but one turtle is the last turtle left. And he's a lost samurai kind of deal. It's really fun.
I mean, this isn't about turtles.
But it could be.
It could be.
There's a shit ton of those movies.
Did we review TMNT 2007? I don't know if we did.
But someone's going to put it in the hat.
I love that movie.
Is that one with Johnny Knoxville in
it? No. Is that the one Johnny Knoxville, like voice actor? It's the animated one.
Yeah. Oh.
Sarah Michelle Gellar and Patrick Stewart are in it.
TMNT 2007. No, this is the one with Chris Evans as Casey Jones. The one I'm thinking of is the one with Stephen Amell as Casey Jones.
Oh, the live action Stephen Bay one. Or the Bay
Michael
one,
Bay.
sorry. Michael Bay. Yeah, I mean, no, that's different. Shaun, what do you think of Rachel Weisz in this movie?
Do you know what? I think she does well. I think she's given a lot of exposition to dump all of the time.
Given a lot of dog shit, and she's very, very good at acting. So she does really well with it.
Yeah. And like we discover everything about the world and the scenario through her, basically.
She's the Blade. What's the doctor's name in Blade? She's basically that character.
Yeah.
It's the same concept.
This whole movie is very Blade pilled, I will say.
Yes.
But I think she's good. I like the scene where she goes into hell, like they drown her in the bathtub kind of a thing.
Yeah.
That's fucking intense.
That's a really good... Do you know why that scene is so good? Because of the choices they make in the filming process. Because the idea is, right, so that Keanu says to her... I'm going to say Keanu, right? But Constantine says to her, right, you need to go into hell because you could, like, see that shit. Like, you're someone who can see demons. You need to make that connection so we can find out what happened to your sister, all this stuff. So he's like, right, you need to be completely submerged in the water. And then she's like, how long will it take? And he's like, takes as long as it takes. You don't get a number, right? So it starts off, she completely submerges herself and he puts his hand on her chest to hold her down. And why that scene is excellent is because a movie now cuts to her starting to trash immediately. And this movie sits.
There's a beat.
There's about 10 to 15 seconds of just him holding her and her holding her breath. She goes under, and you just see her underneath, and then she kind of opens her eyes and she's looking at him, and then it goes on for maybe another 10 seconds, and you're like, this is a really long time that she's. And then the acting that she pulls out of like, oh, I'm not getting out of here.
Yeah,
oh, I'm in this tub.
The way it's cut is fantastic because it's like a medium close up on her. And then it cuts back under the water looking at Keanu. Yeah. And then it cuts back and it's like a big close-up of her. And you just see fear and more bubbles coming out of her nose.
And it's been about 45 seconds in film time, like, of the hour. Like this is the middle of the hour. We're just watching it in, like, real time. And you see, like, the moment of realisation, she absolutely kills it, the performance of just, like, I'm going to die.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking die. I'm running out of oxygen. I'm going to die. Instead, she starts trashing.
She starts trashing out. He holds her down.
There's a moment, like, you can see that her eyes are like, how the fuck did I get into this situation? I don't even know this guy. He's holding me in a bathtub. You see with no line of dialogue, no, like, exposition or anything like that. You see her think, oh, I don't know this guy. He could just kill me. Yeah. Of course, because she met him yesterday.
Yeah, and like,
and it's just really great acting. It's a really great scene, and then she starts trashing, and he's holding her, and you're just like, oh shit, she's gonna die. Then she goes down to hell, and then the great scene is the bathtub smashes and just like cracks everywhere.
Yeah, and I love anytime anyone goes to hell in this, everything slows. But the implications are like, no, they spend ages in hell, and it just, it's half a second in the real world.
And Keanu talks about that when he's like, I killed myself for 2 minutes, and for the real world it was 2 minutes, but I was in hell.
Eternity.
Like he doesn't say how long he was there, but he's just like, it was 2 minutes in the real world, but that's not how time works down there.
There's a fucking great line, and I think he's like, someone asked him like why he's so miserable or something like that, and he just says, how would you feel if you were going to a jail full of people you sent there?
Yeah, Rachel Weisz asks him, because he's going to get sent back there to loads of demons he's already sent there. Weird that they have Rachel Weisz constantly just soaking wet.
Happens a lot, right?
White shirt, soaking wet all the time through the whole movie.
Like, more than any other character, she's just always damp Shirt's all see-through.
He gets wet as well. But
he's got the jacket and everything. Also, his white shirt never gets see-through somehow.
Never gets see-through. Her stuff always is see-through. I'm like, they wrote this movie, they're like, right, we need Rachel Weisz at least soaking wet for maybe an hour of it. Right? Yeah. It's an hour and 45 minutes long. We have 45 minutes of exposition. Then we fucking drown her. And she's soaking for the rest of it.
I can't look. It's not me, guys. I don't want to do this. It's the studio. They're making it.
The director's like, look, lads, I don't want to do this. Right? Harvey's told me he wants to do this.
You just have a hose on Rachel Weisz.
I think it was so weird. Like, even at the end in the last scene when she like falls into the fucking pool, I'm like, what is this? Why is she constantly just underwater?
Because I thought the bathtub scene was like, okay, here's the one fucking fan servicey bit where we just soak Rachel Weisz, and then it's like, oh no, it happened again, and she's in the same outfit,
and all the time she didn't change. Different clothes.
Also, the dude who directed this also did I Am Legend and then all of the Hunger Games movies.
No way, Francis Lawrence is the director.
Yeah.
I think really underrated. I think a really good director.
Yeah, like fairly consistent. Did Water for Elephants as well, which is fantastic. I will say the makeup on Rachel Weisz in the end scene where she's in like demon form,
really good.
Really, really good.
Yeah.
Looks like someone possessed. Which I didn't know I knew what that looked like. But
and then when he starts getting the demon out of her, there's the slow transition back, which is obviously like it's a slow transition to do it all the time in film, but it's just really good because the makeup is so good in the first bit that when she comes back to herself, you're just like, oh, there she's back. That's good.
And again, that's all makeup in 2005. Like they just had to do that.
The makeup and the lighting and the sets were... I was watching this and I was just like... I don't know what it was. Maybe my brain is broken now. But I was watching it and I was like, I am having the best time ever. Because look at the lighting in that scene. It's fucking great. He goes and when he gets his lung... the cancer diagnosis. He's in the doctor's office. And she's like... You have maybe a year, maybe less to live.
A year tops,
you got super duper cancer, like real bad, right? And he's just like, okay. And he pulls out a cigarette and he starts lighting it. And then he turns and the shadow kicks in and he's just completely in shadow other than the cigarette light in the middle of the office. And I'm like... That is fucking great. I love that. I absolutely just... That one simple, stupid scene, I was like, the lighting is beautiful.
Oh yeah, it says so much. Like there's let's just talk about cool shots for a second.
Absolutely.
There's one where he's drinking on his own in the house and he finishes the glass and there's a spider on the table and he puts the glass over the spider and blows smoke into it. Yeah. And it's like, that's John Wick. That's what John Wick is. He's trapped.
There's the bit in the nightclub when he starts coughing uncontrollably and he starts and he's walking out and the fucking music is pumping and there's dark shadows and there's bright lights and it's Blade nightclub scene, but it's basically John Wick, like he's falling out of the club and I'm like, this is amazing. This is real film. This is none of that woke nonsense,
this is
Shaun.
Cinema.
This is cinema. That was like 2005 Constantine. This is cinema.
In the last scene when he slits his wrists and he has the one last cigarette and he puts the cigarette out in the blood. It's like, guys, you didn't have to go this hard.
It's so edgy. It's so ridiculous. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm all in because that's the vibe we're creating.
Do you know what it reminds me of is The Crow in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's like, it's edgy, knows it's edgy, but knows it's cool as well.
Yeah. I think it runs a really fine line and I think it does it really, really well. Like, so good. Like, I've already mentioned it, but that first shot of him getting out of a taxi and it cuts up above and the two buildings are parallel beside. Taxi, the yellow spot in the middle. The minute that happened, I was like, "Oh, we're doing a movie."
Yeah,
like a movie.
This was treated like a movie, not a product. You know, not a slop.
And there's loads of scenes. So, for example, when Rachel Weisz's sister Isabel is going to commit suicide. By the way, a Rachel Weisz doll is the one that they used when she turns up to the crime scene. Looks the exact same as her. Yeah, because it's meant to be her twin. So, also, weird nobody at that crime scene is like, hey, that victim is literally you.
Yeah, well, they knew it was her sister, but she shouldn't be on that scene at all.
I don't think police should show up to their own sister's death as investigators, no.
No, if you know the person, you shouldn't.
But the bit when she throws the little tag off, and it whips through the air and then it flies past her, I'm like, why we don't need to do this, but this is fucking great.
And then that's echoed later, that's in hell, and like it's like a premonition. Oh my god, it's okay, we are gushing about this movie and hyping praise on it. We said at the start it's not a good movie. It's objectively not a good movie, but man, did people give a shit about it.
I don't know if it's not a good movie. I think it has so many cool things in it. And so many good...
It's definitely not a bad movie.
It's not a bad movie. I would say it's a weird Constantine movie that I don't think works for Constantine, but I think as a movie... I think pretty fucking good.
Watching this 20 years removed from it and just thinking of it as a movie, that's the way to do this.
I want you to watch a movie on Netflix in the top 10. A Netflix-made movie, right? Just whatever you want. Red Notice or whatever.
The Adam Project or whatever it's fucking called.
Yeah, whatever you want to do, right? Watch one of those movies and then watch this movie right after and just look at the difference. Like, the other movie might be better objectively as a movie, but there's nobody that's going to be like, this movie looks worse. Because
there was moments in this movie where I was on my own watching it, and I would say, that's a nice shot. I said that out loud a couple of times.
I said the same thing. Maybe it's because like we studied like all this shit in college, and like
maybe,
and you're just like, that's so hard to do, but they didn't have to do that, but that's so good.
They did that for an establishing shot.
There's no need to go that hard. But fucking hell.
I'm just really impressed by this movie, and I feel like it didn't. I think it came out at a time when that was the standard for movies, and people like no one was phoning it in for the most part, and so it kind of got lost. But now looking at it as composed to where it's like, oh, we'll do it all in post-production, or oh, we'll refilm it. It smacks of like, no, everyone gave it all on the day.
So I make notes. Like, I make notes for every single movie. And so my first few notes are Mexico Nazi Blade. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I said, oh shit, he's here. Cool shot. Next line. And then I have Constantine. Constantine is here. Shia is here. Oh my god. And then I just have, what a cool intro. ... The lighting is fucking exquisite.
Oh, it's so good.
It's the first 30 seconds. I was like, the lighting is... I think I said out loud, that is exquisite.
It is exquisite, though. All of the lighting in this movie is great. Because, and it's moody. It sets an atmosphere. But it's also dark, but you can see what's going on. I also
appreciate when lighting doesn't quite work and it's a bit shit, because it means they tried some lighting, and some of it is going to be beautiful and some of it's not going to be good, instead of computerized, which is all just 6 out of 10.
Yeah, the scene on the street where all of the demons are coming after Keanu and Rachel Weisz.
Yes!
And they're like backed up against the one statue of the Virgin Mary, and that's the only light source. And they're backlit until he lights the rag on fire. And then puts his hand up, and you see all the demons for a flash of a second, and then all the lights come back on. It's fucking great.
By the way, that rag is meant to be
Shroud of Turin.
Yeah. So it's meant to be that, so that's even cooler. Just like because all the lights are shut off, and then they're in complete darkness. Yeah, and you're just like, oh, it's like complete darkness. You can't see them, and then they're just backlit by like one godlike figure.
And it's like it's wet, like. Because the statue of Mary is in like a shop, but it's nighttime and the shop shutters are closed. And it's like the symbol of light and good is caged and shit. Like, it's just, everything is purpose. Everything's on purpose in this movie.
I think that's probably what we're really trying to be like. If it's going to be bad, at least it's bad and they tried something. I'd rather you tried something mad and it was bad. instead of just stuck to like
you swung for it, like,
and you went somewhere. You went fucking hard at it. And I think even in all of our terrible movie reviews that we've done, you're like, look, you fucking went for it. It didn't work, but you went for it. And you kind of have to appreciate, like, well, fucking here we go. You can't get half pregnant. We're going to go all in.
Yeah, exactly. The scene where the priest, who John Constantine took the, like, necklace off, so now he's hearing the spirits and the voices again, and he goes into the corner shop to try and get drink to numb it, to cancel it out.
Because he's hearing all of the voices. He's going insane.
Yeah, and alcohol is the only thing that has stopped and helps him to sleep. And he unscrews the wine, nothing comes out, puts it back on the shelf, and it starts pouring out of it. He breaks a bottle, and the liquid doesn't come out. And
that scene is so good. That is such a good scene, because even the bit before that, when he's with the dead body and he tries to take the alcohol and the guard shows up and is like, what are you doing here? Get the fuck out.
Yeah.
Immediately your brain just goes, oh, he's got no alcohol left. It's fine. But then when the little container hits the ground, there's loads of liquid on the floor. So it clearly meant that, like, it came out. He just didn't feel it.
He's not getting any.
He's not getting any. And you're like, oh. And then he goes into the corner shop, as you said, goes to take the bottle, and you can see all the bottles, like, pouring onto the ground as he goes one by one, because he keeps putting them back on the shelf.
It's distressing, that scene. Like, it's genuinely upsetting to watch.
And then he dies because he drowns himself, because the fucking demon who's there basically makes it all the alcohol that he just drank appears in his mouth at one time, and then he just drowns himself.
He drowns in alcohol, but he carves the symbol in his hand because he knows John will find it.
Oh, fuck. So good.
What a fuck. So, again, like, that scene does not happen if you make Constantine today.
No, that scene has nowhere near this movie. If they're trying to sell it to kids, they're like, that is some fucked up shit. Like, let's do some cool stuff. Yeah, just again, just go for it. Even if you miss, you tried something. Because some of the scenes are not good, but some of the scenes like that are like, this is a banger.
That scene where he fights the man made of insects, that feels like it's made for a trailer.
That's weird. It happens really quick, and the man with the insects dies because he gets hit by some cars. Yeah, which is like, weird.
The bit leading up to that, where he's like out in the rain and he's coughing and he's brought to his knees by coughing, that's all great. As soon as that weird insect dude shows up, it's a completely different... That's maybe the one out of place thing in the movie. It feels just added in for the sake of it.
I would say what happened was the crowd were like, or the studio were like, we want another fight scene. No matter how small it is, we just need a bit of action. It hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, well, he's fighting internally, you know, he's grappling with his inner self.
I don't know if that comes across if you're like 12. You're like, I want him to fight the big bug monster.
Big bug monster. I do like he sees the crab, and that's how he's like, oh, something's really wrong here.
Yeah, like, I think him constantly being like, this is some fucked up stuff going on, and everyone being like, you're crazy, John Constantine. You don't know what you're talking about. It's perfect version of this movie that, like, the demons are coming through, and he's like, there's no balance anymore. Everyone's like, you gotta keep the balance. You gotta keep that balance.
Like, there fucking is no balance.
He's like, this is fucked up shit, man. And because people are just attacking me, they're like, demons don't attack you in like, just out in the broad open. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're not able to do that. Even B-Man is like, no, it's never happened. It can't happen. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, where it falls down is that end scene, and even then it fucking goes for it with like Gabriel appearing out of nowhere and like being like, the only reason it works though, because they do hang a lantern on it earlier on in that I don't know who's talking to him. Is it Jimon Hansu says to him like, the devil would be, you're the only person the devil would come up for himself.
Yeah.
Or it might be the priest. One of them is like, you're the only human that the devil's going to come up for to take specifically.
Because you sent so many of his dudes back to hell.
Yeah, and so at the end when he's like, I can't stop Gabriel, this is going to be boring, he kills himself. He sliced both of his wrists. Also, annoyingly, the deleted scene is that he killed himself when he was 16 with his wrists. And they deleted that scene.
That makes... I see why it was deleted. They don't want to show a 16-year-old cutting their wrists.
True.
But also, that echoes more poetically. Even if you saw the scars before.
But you wouldn't even have to show it. You could just get him to say it.
True.
Or I
true.
just said the scars would work better as well. Like, just show the scars, something, so that, like, when he does it at the end, it has a carry-on effect. They're like, he's bringing him back, okay. Because he does it, and you're like, that's a weird way to do that, but it's just...
It's his move.
It means something from what he did earlier on, because that's why he's destined to go to hell.
Yeah, and he does the sacrifice. Okay. He sacrifices his own place in heaven so that Rachel Weisz's sister can be released from hell and go to heaven. I do like that the devil cures him of cancer rather than letting him go to heaven.
I very much like that as well, as like a final fuck you, because obviously the devil's not going to allow him, because he's like, big fucking, he thinks he's so great, John Constantine, butter wouldn't melt, the little prick. Well, I'm going to get you, because he's floating up to heaven, and then the devil grabs him and takes out all of his cancer, and it's like, well, now you're not dying, so you can't go to heaven now yet.
You can't go there, and now you have a lifetime to fucking earn your way back into hell.
Yeah, I really like that. I think it's like, that's very Constantine as well. That's like such a Constantine vibe. The devil's like, you're not getting away that easy. You do not get to heaven.
I'm just gonna fuck with this one dude in particular.
Forever. Like, to heal him of cancer as a punishment is very Constantine.
All John Constantine wants to do is die and not go to hell. And now he just doesn't get to die.
Oh man, what else do I have? I mentioned already that I love the fact that it's not an origin story. I think it works a lot better for this kind of character. You just come in, and there's weird demons. This is the only person that can kill them all.
I would have liked it more of like a established but not quite at the end Constantine. But I guess he's not at the end by the end of this.
Yeah, also I have a very cool shot when the devil, or Gabriel I suppose, is dragging Rachel Weisz's character through all the walls.
Yeah,
when she just starts feeling weird, and then she just gets dragged through all of the walls. I'm like, that's shot really well. It's just it's just flying through all of them.
Similar when the devil is dragging away Constantine, and he starts cracking the tile because he's not able to move him anymore.
Also, apparently, he grabs him by the left wrist because that's to go with the fact that left-handers are evil. Or he grabs him on his left side or something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Left-handers apparently evil. Look, that's not my words. I'm just saying that's the devil.
That's the Catholic Church, folks.
That's the Catholic Church telling us that. The John versus 300 demons fight scene is when he arrives at the building and there's the 300 demons are all there. I like the holy water bit. I think that's fun.
It's good. I like how he gives them an option to leave.
Yeah, he's like, you can all go, but then the water coming down, and I was like, is this the end? And then you have the John Wick blowing through the room scene.
Yeah. It's not quite Blade Blood Rave, but it's close to it.
Yeah, I think that's why all I could think of was Blade when I was watching this. I was like, they're going for a Blade vibe, but they don't quite get there. But they do some other stuff much better. I think this Constantine and Wesley Snipes' Blade would have a really cool team-up movie that you could do.
I think so. Because in that situation, Wesley Snipes' Blade is the comedic one, weirdly enough.
This guy's so dour.
That he just he cheers.
Some motherfucker's always trying to ice skate uphill, and he's like, hey, that's funny. That's pretty good. Yeah.
Or I think he'd be like, what does that mean?
I don't understand. What are you talking about? I think this movie is let down by some of the casting, not by Rachel Weisz. Actually, all of the other casting is perfectly fine.
Yeah, and Keanu is a good actor. I just think he's not Constantine.
Yeah, and I think that's probably more... That might just be us. Maybe people love Keanu as Constantine. But I think what really fucked up Keanu was the CW show coming along. That everyone's like, this is Constantine.
They nailed Constantine here,
the more I think about it, I think Jude Law could have like that kind of charisma.
05 Jude Law, yeah.
05 Jude, like he's got that charisma, cocky charisma, but also like he can kind of pull off, oh God, I'm so sad.
Yeah, he could do troubled backstory and then masked behind humour or whatever, you know, like...
Yeah.
Not to say Keanu can't do that, but Jude Law has played that character before.
Now, if you gave Keanu the movie now, he would play it completely differently.
Which is why I'm hyped for Constantine 2.
Yeah,
because I think it could be the best Constantine.
2024 Constantine or Keanu plays this movie completely different if you transport him back to there. I think he's like, well, I don't need to be so dour. I can kind of be a little more comedic. Yeah,
like I'd love to see him. I don't know, has he retired or is he just like, he only comes in for the big jobs now? Like he's got people working for him doing all the ghost hunting?
The Justice League Dark works because they try everybody else and then they're like, oh fuck, we have to go ask Constantine.
Yeah.
Jeez, he's the worst. Fucking hell.
Like no one wants to use him.
And then he shows up and he's like, what's up, dickheads? Why you come to me? Because you have a big problem,
Yeah, he's so joyful of just like, oh, you need me to fix everything.
You couldn't get it done with all your little fucking magic, could you? You have a demon, is it? Alright, big old Johnny's here to help. I don't know what else you want to say. The editing, pretty good. Cinematography is excellent. Philip Rosselot did the cinematography. I don't know what else he's done. But
it's going to turn out he did like the Batman or some shit.
If he did, that's amazing. Find out who the cinematographer is, because
Philip Rousselot. He has done a bunch of French films. That tracks. Yeah. He's done... Okay, I'm still in the 80s, man. He's been working for ages.
He's a legend.
He did... Okay, Constantine. Then he did Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Tim Burton.
Weird.
You got Sherlock Holmes, Guy Ritchie. Sherlock Holmes, A Game of Shadows. He did The Nice Guys.
Yes.
We're back.
We're back. Make us review The Nice Guys. Someone put
the Nice Guys in the hat, please. Please, we need it.
Love The Nice Guys. It's also one of those movies that I, for years, was like, Shaun, you need to watch The Nice Guys. And then he never did. And then he watched it. He was like, Conor, I've seen The Nice Guys.
Best movie ever. Good. Don't we watch the other night? Game night. Fantastic.
That's a great one. That's a good one as well. I mean, the Nice Guys has the bit of like, you're a good person deep down. Really deep.
Really deep down.
By the way, this cost $100 million to make.
Wow. Imagine that.
And it made 230. So
technically
2005 money. That's pretty good for a PG-13 Constantine movie.
Yeah, 100%. And for like in 2005, that cast is pricey.
Very pricey. Very, very pricey. Yeah. Well, other than Shia, you can pay him a child's wage. He's fine. He was about to do Transformers like 2 years later.
That's mad. It was really the start of Shia.
So I don't know what else you want to say about this movie other than that. I feel like we've given completely mixed messages on this whole movie.
Yeah, I think, look, it's by no means perfect, but it's way better than everyone says it is.
Actually, that's probably the best way. I would recommend watching it.
Yeah,
just to kind of see some of the cool shit that they do.
I think this is as good as the first Hellboy.
Yes. Yeah. Right? I think it's... I was going to say it's better than the first Hellboy.
I don't know. See, Hellboy, that's a lot of like... I think that's Hellboy all practical.
Hellboy is a better movie, but I think this is maybe looks cooler.
I'd give it that, yeah.
Hellboy looks very cool, but this also looks extremely cool.
Yeah, and like especially of the time, it's really good and it holds up really well.
Yeah. So I mean, Weetabix, one demon Weetabix out of two.
I would have 2 communion wafers, I would say.
Bless his Lord. Beat to jizz, looks at even. I think that's it for this month, Shaun. Constantine, thank you very much everyone for listening. Thank you very much for supporting the show. It's been good crack doing it. I'm liking all the comments that you're leaving on Spotify as well. That is
also
pretty
nice.
excellent.
is really nice to see, and we can like and reply and all of that stuff to those. So keep leaving those. Keep leaving suggestions for movies you want to see us talk about. And just genuinely thank you for supporting us. We genuinely couldn't do it without you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you have a good movie idea, just send it in to us. Genuinely, it'll get put in the hat. We're getting our way through them. Someone put in the nice guys, please, for the love of God.
Nice guys. And game night as well.
Please. Well, no, game night you just watched, but also that's so good. Not with that ass. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh no, he died.
Oh no, he died. Okay, that's it for another one. I've been Conor Lawler.
I've been Shaun Meighan.
I shall see you all next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.